What's going on, people? Welcome to Live Palace News. As you can see from the title, personal terms have been agreed for Maxence Lacroix, who's been rumored to be joining Palace for a while. But what does this mean for Mark Guehi? Is Lacroix actually going to be joining the football club? We've got more news as well as outgoings as well. So make sure to get involved throughout the show by hitting the like button, also subscribing if you haven't already done so, because the season's starting. This season is starting in less than an hour's time with Manchester United and Fulham kicking it off on Sunday. We'll be having a few show of ours, of course, a watch along, the live match reaction, the player ratings. So there's loads of content coming out. The opposition preview, by the way, is out. So if you're watching this on replay or if you're watching it live, as soon as this finishes, make sure to check that out. Very insightful interview ahead of the game. As I said, it's going to be a busy show. We'll get wrapped up before the season officially kicks off. T, how you doing, man? Are you excited?
Doing good, bro. Doing good, bro. Yeah,
Start of a
man.
new
Excited.
season?
Exciting day, man. It. That's why I love football. It comes so fast. Like the beginning of the season, it gets there so quickly. Like as a basketball fan, I feel like I have to wait forever for the new season to start when the season ends. But like with football, with soccer, like it's right back going again. So
Yeah, well, to be fair, I know preseason started fairly quick, but I don't know. I feel like we've had a good amount of break. Good amount of break. Of course, a few signings during that break as well. I think it's time
hmm
now. It's time to start. And
yeah.
I don't think the
hmm
squad is in a bad position. Of course, today we'll be talking about the update that Oliver Glasner has given us from his press conference, including updates on injuries. So yeah, it's going to be a busy show. As always, get involved throughout the show in the live comment section. And yeah, let's get started. Let's get started with Lacroix. As you can see from the title, personal terms have been agreed according to Pletty Goal, who has over 300,000 followers on
And he's
Twitter.
super reliable.
Super reliable. Yet
Yeah.
personal terms have been agreed, people. And I'll add the following: that Oliver Glasner really wants him as a possible replacement for Guehi, which there's another update on him today as well. Or in addition, which is, of course, we're going to be landing there. Let me just go through the report because that is massive. Understand the 24-year-old central defender from Wolfsburg is currently their top target for this position. More options behind Lacroix, one of them, Kusanu, T. How do you pronounce
Kasunu.
Kusunu? Yeah, Kusunu.
hmm
Kusunu's been mentioned as well. Leverkusen mentioned that he's on the list, but currently not their priority. T. Lacroix, personal terms have been agreed according to a very reliable source.
hmm
Your thoughts? It's been mentioned quite a bit this summer.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. And I think the in addition part actually does make more sense, even with having somebody like Guehi now, because whether you have somebody like Guehi in place or you don't, Lacroix's situation is still an extremely favorable one as far as going out and getting a top-rated center back who's still very young and is in the last year of his contract, so he's a bargain. So I can see why the in addition piece is there, because it's still a really great player that you could get for sub 20 million possibly. So I get it. I fully get it.
Yeah, the valuation in terms of not even valuation, the agreement between their club, Wolfsburg, and also Palace have not been agreed just yet. But I don't think that would be a problem. I've never thought that would be a problem with 1 year left on his contract. I think an agreement could be found. He won't be super expensive. But
hmm
yeah, I think the in addition part, as I was reading it as well, and I did mention it, that we have to land there, and I'll land there now. Um, that is a big part to the story because he's
Yeah.
been mentioned as a potential Gay replacement. But imagine having Guehi, Anderson, and Lacroix as your defensive three, then pushing Richards and Riyadh as your backup options, and then Holding as your emergency. We will have one of the best defenses in the league. 100%. 100. Even right now, without Lacroix, I think we still do. But that would be incredible to you. The only question that I have is, could this damage our chances? Let's say if we didn't sell Guehi and we brought in Lacroix, could this damage our chance of getting maybe a wing back? Because I think that should still be on the list.
Exactly.
If it
Yeah.
doesn't, would you be against it?
If it doesn't, I'm not against it. I mean, um, and
Hilarious.
yeah, and at the same time, just because this gets done doesn't necessarily mean that wingback isn't still the biggest priority for us.
Hmm.
It just may be the fact that even though it's the biggest priority, it's taking time to get done. You know, there's a lot of negotiating. Obviously, we've seen some uh, rumors out there about different things by different people. Well, on the left in particular, not necessarily the right, which is still weird to me. Still haven't heard a lot about right
Yeah.
wing back,
We're gonna
but
ignore it, man. I know.
yeah,
From our past, I'm used to. I'm just settling down for us not even getting a right wing back. But of course, when I give my judgment for the transfer window, I'll be including that because for me, I think it is a position that shouldn't be ignored. But
100%,
we've ignored it in the past. I don't know why it's always the right hand side, but it is what it is. So that won't
100%.
surprise me. But look, people, Lacroix as an addition to Guehi, that would be the funniest thing ever, considering that it was Guehi leaving, Lacroix coming in. And on top of that, what I've said in terms of boosting our defense, and I think it'll be still an improvement. Look, Lacroix, when he was linked to clubs like Arsenal, who was his manager around that time? It was literally Oliver Glasner. Oliver Glasner was his manager. Oliver Glasner got the best out of Lacroix. And I think that is why he wants him, because he knows what he can do with Lacroix. And over the years, he's become like a trendy player, maybe over the last few years. You're always a FIFA
Mm,
merchant, or if you think he's good, he's only good on FIFA. Just not looking at that alone. I'm looking at what Oliver Glasner done with him and why he wants him so bad based on reports. I understand it. And 24 years old as well. Look, if we were to get him early, and if Guehi was to leave next summer, then we've got Guehi's replacement already through the door. It'll give him time to adjust. It'll give us
mm,
time to understand him a bit better. And let's say if Guehi was to leave next summer or in January, we'll know. We'll know if we'll need another player on top of Lacroix or what type of player we'll need. So I think it'll be a massive boost. I'll be over the moon if this happens. I think it'll be a fantastic move as long as it doesn't damage our chances of improving in other areas which I believe we need to improve in.
100%,
So yeah, so
100%.
I mean, it'll be a move that maybe some people have suggested to get Lacroix as well as keep Guehi at the football club. But let's be honest, no one's really thought of it seriously. No one is. It's always been a talk of Lacroix coming in for Guehi. But yeah, let's see. Let us know your thoughts, of course, in the comment section. What do you think about this news? Personal terms have been agreed, but the agreement between the two clubs haven't reached an agreement yet. But I don't think that'll be a problem, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Let's move on to Mark Guehi because there has been updates as well, and then we can talk about everything and go through the comments as well. If you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button, people. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Road to 10,000 started. We're aiming big. We can all do it with your help. So make sure to get involved as you've been doing throughout the shows. Guehi update today, people. Another bid, believe it or not, a fourth bid was made for Mark Guehi by Newcastle. They're not letting go. And according to the Daily Mail, Newcastle's fourth offer in the region of around £65 million, by the way, for Guehi is set to fail. It needs improving. Newcastle Sporting Director Paul Mitchell now considering his options. And also to add to that, Oliver Glasner today in his press conference, when asked about Guehi, has said that Mark Guehi is set to play against Brentford. He trained all week with the first team. T, are you surprised about a bid of around £65 million being rejected for Guehi, considering that's what we wanted based on reports?
No, because apparently it's not actually like I think what we're wanting is we want that before the add-ons. So I'm guessing what's happening is they're trying to uh hit that 65 number that's been floated around there, but like not actually hit it. So it's like, yeah, we'll give you 58 and a half or 60 plus five, and it's not what we asked for. It's not what we're looking for. I mean, my actual guess is that I think we might be lowballing the number a little bit even more. I think we want more like 70, and they're not getting
Yeah,
there. To
with
be honest
Adams.
with you, yeah.
That's what the reports are
Yeah.
suggesting. And the biggest thing about this was like a test to Palace. Like, are they going to budge their valuation for Guehi? Maybe they might think, oh, look, 55, 60, they might walk away and that's good money, but they haven't. And that's what I've said all along about, Steve Parish, as much as I've been critical about him and some of the other owners at the football club. we are not what other people think we are, which is very annoying and has been annoying. And that's why we need to be together, people, going into this new season. Because there's a lot of people who have been talking about player leaving, player B leaving. They're like, oh, Palace potentially losing Guehi, Anderson, Elise. They don't understand what we know about these players. They think, the neutrals especially, they think as soon as there's a bid for Anderson, hold up, Anderson's gone. They think as soon as there's a bid for Guehi, Guehi's gone. There's a lot of people that's been against us on a slide. So we all have to stick together. It can be an exciting season. But at this point, T, I think we're reaching a stage, and I've said this as well talking to Patrick yesterday, with Guehi especially, the longer it goes on, I think the less likely it is because of the timing. I mean, we're heading towards the end of the window. And Palace will not be under pressure to sell him. Even if they reach that valuation, let's say on deadline day, that might be a bit too late. It's not like it's a release clause. We might just say, no, well, too late now. We're not going to accept it. So I'm getting more confident, especially after another bid being improved and reaching £65 million and getting rejected once again.
Yeah, and I read in a couple of reports that were saying that fourth offer was going to be their final one before looking at other options. I hope it's true. It's just one of those things that, if you really don't want to pay that amount, and they know the price that we wanted from the very beginning, and they weren't willing to give it, just go somewhere else and get a player that costs you less, man. Like, that's all I can say. Like, if we were to sell Mark Guehi right now, he would have gone for less than Harry Maguire did to Man United at the age of 27. He would have gone for less than Virgil van Dijk. He would have gone less for Matthias de Ligt. He would have gone less for there's a number of guys that have gone for numbers far exceeding what we're even asking for, what we're even starting, like what our price is right now. So it just makes sense that we're still trying to get low ball for a guy this quality. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Look, some people are actually saying sell him for that kind of figure. Which I'm not against selling Guehi, by the way, and I've said this all along. Some people were surprised about it. Like, he's our best defender. I don't think Guehi is overrated. I think that's ridiculous to call Guehi overrated. He's our best defender. He's proven himself in Euros as well. But around that figure and the replacements that we're talking about, I think, it's a win-win situation for us. If Guehi stays, we keep our best defender at the football club, still fairly young, and hopefully we do push on next season with him at the football club, and maybe he can change his mind, and depends on that. If he was to go, we get good money, and then we push on like that. So I think it's a win-win situation with Guehi, but I have no problems with Guehi staying. I mean, he makes us squad stronger. We know what to expect from him. And so far he's been very good, but look, blew him up and saying get him sold. This is crazy for that money. But yeah, I think the biggest thing
still only gonna see a certain amount of it because we still have to give a good amount of it to Chelsea. So there's probably a number that we have internally that we're saying this is the minimum that we are willing to bring back after paying out Chelsea. And until that number is met or exceeded, we don't move forward. And that's just what it is, man.
Look, if we was to go right now, we'd get around £50 million for Guehi, not the 65 to 70, depending on what the price is because of the sell-on clause. So, 50 million is still not bad. It's a good amount of money that can get reinvested into the squad, but it's not exactly the amount that's being reported as well. We have to remember that. But Colin, I agree with this 100%. Media, people, haters, everyone made us look like a weak selling club. They've been doing this for years. I've hated the narrative that, because it's Crystal Palace, everyone will be leaving the football club. I've hated the fact that our valuations for certain players are much lower because they play for Crystal Palace. Not too long ago, speaking to other people that are non-Palace supporters, hearing Guehi £40 million, I laughed at them. They were laughing back at me saying he's not worth around 60 to 80 million pound. And now here they are. Their clubs are struggling to buy players like Guehi. And that's what I hate. And this season, I want us to push on and make a point because I'm tired. Of course, we're a smaller club than some of the other clubs out there, but I'm tired of the narrative that we are this selling club. We might have to sell one player every summer. We might have to just to function. But we've never been a selling club. We never have. Look at the Zaha situation. Even look at the Elise situation last summer.
I mean, the fact that you can
We've,
count
we've
on
never,
one
and it's
hand.
boring though. Like we can talk about it here, but when I'm talking to other fans and when I've been hearing the same thing for 2 months, saying that Eze, Guehi, Elise, Walter, everyone is leaving the football club, it's like no, he's not leaving, and they don't listen. It goes through one ear, out the other ear, and it's boring. And I just want us to prove a lot of people wrong this season.
And it's like, how can you be considered a selling club when you and I can sit here and count on one hand probably the amount of players that we've sold in our club's history for over what, 25 million pounds?
And the sales that we made, they've actually helped us. Wan-Bissaka, he's built a whole new academy facility for us that's going to be completed in September.
Balassi, Wan-Bissaka,
Yeah, Balassi as well.
Elise. Who else have we sold for big money? How are we a selling club?
You know what it is? It is their mentality is they think, oh, it's Crystal Palace. These players will 100% leave. That's how they think. It's simple football. Like
they don't follow us. They don't watch us. They don't know the quality that we have. Like those are people that just they're just uninformed. That's all I can say about that. Like that's just an uninformed opinion.
But that's what I'm saying. When you're talking to these people every single day and you have to repeat yourself, it gets tiring. That's why hopefully this season, that's what I'm saying. Stick together. We're all in this one. And let's have a good season because we can have a very good season. They're still missing pieces, of course, to the puzzle, but I'm tired of this narrative. Look, West Ham all of a sudden, they're getting hyped up left, right, centre. Like West Ham haven't spent around 170, 200 million pounds before. They've spent around near enough that figures. But
exactly,
all of a sudden, West Ham's now a top 4 club. I'm hearing Club B, Club C, like everyone just getting hyped up. But with Palace, I know some people do respect us, and I don't want to hype. I just want to respect. For Palace, the narrative is all these players are still leaving. It's just tiring. It's boring. So yeah, exactly. Look, I saw Liverpool fans say Walton isn't even worth £30 million. I mean, people make these
wouldn't
figures
dare try to come and
in their
spend
heads.
by him.
Exactly. Walton, I feel sorry because after the season, when Walton gains a lot of interest from all the top 6 clubs, I feel sorry for them because if they think Walton is going for £30 million, they're going to be in for a shock.
He's arguably better. He's arguably better than every midfielder they have right now. Arguably.
Yeah. Is there an update? Apparently, there might be
contract news.
Yeah. Let me see if Bobby's tweeted out. By the way, people, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure to hit the like button. Oh, great. Big news. Eze's release clause. As soon as I was saying that as well, perfect timing about everyone leaving football club. Exclusive from Bobby Manzi. Eze's release clause has expired at 5 p.m. tonight. Eze's release clause has expired. The attacker has attracted interest from the likes of Man City this summer, but the release clause is no longer active.
Means somebody will have to pay
in the right direction. And that is a very sensible thing to have in his release clause. Because people are talking about, we was worried, deadline day, he has a release clause. But as I've said, look, as much as you can be critical about this board at times,
and that makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense because the club is like, look, man, we don't have a problem with somebody coming and activating your release clause, but we don't want it to happen in this window close to the end. Like that's going to put us in a situation where we can't find somebody to replace you. So we're going to have it expire 2 weeks before the window closes so that we're not put in a situation where Man City comes in 3 days before the window closes, throws out that 60 mil, you're gone and we can't replace you.
Yeah. By the way, if you're just showing in now, Eze's release clause, according to Bobby Manzi, has expired at 5 p.m. So it is officially over. And let's be real, Eze is not leaving this window now. I can say that for.
And you see them in the new kit, now. The new kit opening, the new kit reveal.
Yeah.
Like
perfect timing as well. They dropped that. They dropped that as soon as the release clause expired. When did the new kit actually get released? Was it after 5 p.m. The third kit, anyways, or
let me look when I got the notification. That first, they had that little teaser notification first.
I There's a super chat here, which I'll read out. Thank you so much for that, Sergeant. Do you think Mateta is ready to start? He should be ready to start, because he's been playing in the Olympics.
And he's been training since Wednesday. So I mean, he definitely could. I mean,
yeah, he joined as expected.
And Glasner already said that he was in contention.
Yeah. So yeah, he should be ready to start, and I think he should. We go for it. We go for it this year. If Mateta's ready, Mateta starts. I know Edward has scored goals in preseason, and people talk about morale. I'm not here for morale. I'm here for business, strictly business. First game against Brentford, you start your strongest team. You go for it. We go for it. Yep. And for me, he should start. But let me know. But
it'll been about 6 p.m. It was 6 p.m. when they dropped that first teaser.
So yeah. Eze is that's massive. That is massive news. Massive news. Which we weren't really expecting on the stream.
Now, wait a minute.
But it's funny, T. As I was talking about everyone getting sold, everyone thinking everyone getting sold. Let's see now. With the excuses. If Guehi doesn't leave, if Eze stays, that'll be only Elise. And that's for me. Eze is the face of this football club right now. He's the face of this football club right now, and we have to keep him. It's more important than Guehi, especially after losing Elise. So yeah, that is big. Mateta better start scoring. I got $5 on him to score Sunday.
I got a question.
11 years in the Prem is an achievement, especially when you consider Leicester won the Prem, then went down. £65 million was the initial offer, but we got messed about. Understandable to have a hassle charge. I can't let Mateta get injured. I don't think we'll risk him getting injured, but he should be ready. He should be ready like any other player. But yeah, look, so far going into the Brentford game, perspective, Dougie Friedman was linked with a big move away from the football club to Newcastle, stayed. Oliver Glasner, linked to Bayern Munich, stayed. Guehi, right now, another bid rejected. He's staying. He's starting the Brentford game. We'll see if he ends up staying the whole market, but I think he will at this point. He's staying. Eze, release clause expired, according to Bobby Manzi, staying. The only player that we've lost so far in this window is Michael Elise. And saying that, we still need to strengthen because we got high targets. That's natural. But when we've had this all doom and gloom, especially this week, with Brighton spending, I think some people went into panic mode. They're looking at Brighton, they spent, I don't know how much, 100 million, whatever. And people started worrying. They're like, well, they're spending that much. Why can't we spend that much? We're like an ambition. First of all, we never, ever really spend big amounts of money. And we don't need to. That's the biggest thing. We don't need to. We can count with a single hand right now the players that we need. I don't know who Brighton need. I don't give a toss about Brighton. So they might need to spend 100 million. Just like when we got a new manager in Vieira, that summer when we had a clear out. And also, Brighton have sold players. They sold players over the past few seasons.
They sold 190 million worth of players last year. I saw the figure. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, for those who are comparing Palace to Brighton and saying we need to spend, we do need to spend, but we don't need to spend as much as them.
And different model. It's a different model than them too.
Yeah.
Different model.
Well, yeah, some good news for once, as Rex is saying as well. Lacroix is positive news as well. Personal terms have been agreed. Let's quickly mention another good news for my mental sake more than anything, and that is on Rachi. Yeah, it has happened, people. Rachi has officially joined Sheffield United until the end of the season. Look, we spoke about this a few times. I doubt there's much to add, but all the best to him. I just felt sorry for him along the way as well. It's taken so long.
Yeah, did you watch his interview?
No, I haven't been able to watch it.
So the deal has been agreed and good to go really since Monday, but it got held up. It did get held up over the agent fees, some of the fee structure stuff, but he's been there ready to go since Monday. So at least good to know that, he was set, he was good, he's ready to go. But yeah, happy for him though.
Yeah. So it's been hard speaking with Rachi. I feel sorry for him as well because it's just been messy. Just every other day or something new. But he's officially left the club. All the best to him. I think he's registered in time as well, so he can feature for them. Tomorrow. I don't know when they're playing, but we'll keep an eye out on Rachi anyways and give you updates when we can. And another update today from Oliver Glasner's press conference was that Matthias Franca has actually fractured his rib, and in training, and he will be out for the next weeks. So a couple weeks at least. There's been concerns about whether France is injury prone. He hasn't really been able to settle down. Your thoughts on it? Another injury. This time is rib injury. It seems like maybe more of a collision more than anything.
Yeah, that's an impact injury. Anybody that's ever had a rib injury like that, that's an impact injury. So I think the thing that's good about what we've seen from him with some of the injuries, even though it's tough and it sucks, they're not related to one another, first and foremost. And then, not totally, but I'm happy that we're not seeing muscular injuries. I think a lot of times in football, the muscular injuries tend to be the ones that really, really hurt you, really set you back multiple times. I don't know, man. I've played American football before with rib injuries, and you take a few weeks to let it heal, and then you're able to go back out there and get back to it with the right amount of protection. So it'll probably be a couple weeks and it'll be all right. So that's not tough.
Yeah. By the way, thanks to everyone who's hit the like button already. We're on 66 likes. There's over 140 of you here. Let's see if we can reach at least 80. That'll be fantastic. It takes a second of your time and helps us grow the channel, of course, by boosting the algorithm. Let's grow this community, people. Thank you so much for that. I broke 6 ribs. Trust me, it is painful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, I'm not writing them off.
Definitely is.
When we have spoke about Franca, which we haven't as much because, of course, he hasn't featured. Look, the whole context is very important with Franca. He joined us with an injury, moving to a new country, not knowing the language, not knowing the culture, at a very young age. That's a big question mark right there. On top of that, when he did move here, when he was fit, he played under Hodgson. And regardless of what you think about Hodgson, let's be honest, it wasn't the best fit for the development of Franca. When he has come on, which we have seen him play in limited opportunities, very limited opportunities, he's been slated publicly by the manager, which the manager later on apologized, which of course will not help any young player. And it was just messy. On top of that, another injury, etc. As I've said, this season is a fresh start for him. There's another setback. Here's another setback that ideally we don't want. But I'm not writing him off by any means. I'm not writing him off. I'm still believing in him. I still have faith that he can come in and have an impact, at least off the bench, and develop under Oliver Glasner. There's no need to rush him back, which it would have been nice to have him for Brentford, but it's not the end of the world. So yeah, I mean, let's see what happens with that. Let's see also if there's any questions, send them through. If you have already, we would have pinned them by now, so we're going to answer them before we do wrap up. Of course, the season does kick off in half an hour. Not for Palace. For Palace on Sunday, I'll be here for a live watch along. So if you're not going to the game, if you do want to tune in, feel free to do so. And Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted the same thing as well, that Eze's release clause is expired. So yeah.
Pay the freight.
Huh?
they got to pay the freight now. If you want them, you got to pay it.
I wouldn't want to be that club knocking on Palace's door asking for Eze right now. I'll be honest. I wouldn't want to be that person. I wouldn't want to be that person without the release clause. So
now I got a quick question for you, D, because I'm just realizing this and I still haven't seen anything. What was up with the whole Glasner looking back, moving forward thing that's supposed to drop today? What is that? Have you heard anything about that?
I made a joke about that on Twitter, and I had people saying they took it seriously. I don't even know where that is, to be fair.
Yeah, because they put the date of today on there, so I'm just wondering.
Yeah, they forgot to release it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I doubt that's gonna be released today. I don't know what's happened with that. But people take everything too seriously in life, man. I said, what a way to announce that he's walking away from the football club. And I had people genuinely tweeting,
they probably flipped out.
Replying to me,
and probably flipped out,
and responding to me like it was a serious comment. Like, just chill, man.
Probably
everyone just on their edge. Enjoy the sun,
especially the pessimistic fans.
You can't even make a joke nowadays without people get offended. But yeah, that hasn't dropped. That hasn't dropped today.
No, it wasn't going crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, there were questions. We're here. We haven't gone through the questions. Jack saying, do we really have a player as the face of the club, or would you say since Zars left, we're more of a cohesive team with quality throughout? Yeah, 100%. We're more of a team since
You
Wilfred's
can
left.
still
Even
have a
when Wilfred
face.
left.
You can still have a face and be more of a team though too. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
for me, I think it is important to keep Eze
Mhm.
as the face of this football club. But saying that, I think we've got a good core. We've got a good core, but especially in attack, Eze right now, he should be here. Which he seems like he'll be more than likely now that
Yep.
the release clause expired.
Yep.
James said, any chance this amounts to anything? What we're talking about?
What you mean by that?
Yeah, let us know.
Specifics, James. Specifics.
Boom saying, do we know if there's an option to buy Raksaki? No, there shouldn't be an option as far
No.
as I'm aware.
Mm-mm. But
Yeah,
apparently with that loan move, we could get back as much as 4 million with incentives if he meets incentives. Apparently,
yeah. So yeah, 2 to 4 million potentially.
that's
Additional money.
crazy.
Whilst he's developing and coming back to us.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic bit of business there. Even though, geez, we did milk it out, but we got it in the end.
But
So good.
the milking is what got us there.
Yeah, probably.
You made it. You made it a bidding war.
Yeah. Do Newcastle move on to other targets? Ari, Mark Guehi, and is one of them Lacroix? I don't think Lacroix is one of their targets.
I haven't
And
seen anything
potentially
about it.
now, I'm not writing it off. They could move on to other targets because they've been rejected once again. And with Eze news as well, that's massive right before the season starts. So Palace would not want to lose Guehi based on what Steve Parish has said.
And honestly, I think this kind of hurts Newcastle, the way that they've gone about negotiating things. Like when other teams see you consistently lowballing a team's value of a player,
But
they're not going to want to deal with you.
I feel like it's disrespect as well. And
That's what I'm saying. And teams aren't going to want to deal with you. Like other teams are seeing this and aren't going to want to deal with them because of the way that they're negotiating.
It's just a narrative that I've been talking about all summer long. And I'm so happy because now everyone is quiet. Everyone is quiet. About Eze. I dropped it because everyone's talking about players leaving, but no one wants to reply now that Eze's release clause expired in the chat with a bunch of other fans, for example. Everyone's gone quiet. Why have they gone quiet? Because it doesn't fit their agenda and narrative. But it's just been tiring. And I don't know who Newcastle think they are. And I mean this with respect. Yes, it will be a step up. But Guehi can take 5 steps up by moving to a bigger club than Newcastle. He's not desperate for a move. And I can guarantee you, if there were bigger clubs involved, I think Guehi would be more likely to join Liverpool than Newcastle. And that's the case. Like, you know, don't think because it's Palace that we're going to give away and we're going to sell our player, because we never operate like that. So Paul Mitchell, that's a little lesson for Paul Mitchell. You want to buy Guehi? Spend the money to buy Guehi. Don't try and lowball us. Put some respect on our name.
Yep.
James saying, any chance this amounts to anything? Question the title of the show. Oh, for Lacroix.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, Lacroix.
So very reliable source, over 300,000 followers on X.
I'm yet to see Pletigo not get something correct. Like and he doesn't. He's kind of like Ornstein. He doesn't put out just conjecture. Like when he has concrete, actionable information, that's when he tweets the stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he's one of the most reliable people in like the Germany area that there is, period.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of the agreement, I believe it is true, personal terms. But of course, he did mention in the article that the club fees haven't been agreed yet. But I think the biggest thing about it is that Glasner wants him as a Guehi replacement or an addition. Or as an addition as well is the biggest thing about it. If you it doesn't rule out a move for Lacroix now. Maybe Wolfsburg, because you can basically agree. They can agree a deal. By the way, in January, Lacroix can agree a deal with Palace.
Yep, because he's over what is it? Because he's over 23. You can do the Bozeman agreement.
So he should be able to agree a deal for Palace. Yep. So they might just say, you know what, give us 50 million. Here's Lacroix, and that's not bad at all. He can keep Guehi and still go after him. So yeah.
And it's good to have that set up anyway, because in the event that we somehow do lose Mark Guehi, at least at that point, all Palace would have to do is just agree on the fee with Wolfsburg and not have to worry about agreeing the personal terms too. You know what I'm saying? So one part of the deal is already done.
Yeah. So if it was like a last minute move, the personal terms agreed. It will just
Yep.
be let's pay the fee. All right, Lacroix, fly out or do your medical.
Yep.
That's it, sorted.
Yep.
So yeah, like we're still expecting more business, and we have hit 80 likes by the way. Thanks to all of you. You never disappoint. Let's see if we can aim higher as well. Thanks to every single one of you, of course. Love and appreciate you all. Twist is saying, have we shown real ambition this transfer window?
My
I think we
answer
have
is
shown.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have shown ambition. Kamara is a positive step, and he's going to be a star, and it's going to be very good for us. Chadi Riyad is improving the depth at the back. So I think that's ambitious. Saar, we've wanted for a while as an IO replacement. That's a positive step, and we are still expecting more business. More business. I'll be shocked. For me, it's still 6 out of 10. Well, I know that will go up this window because I'm expecting more business. I expect it to be minimum 7 out of 10 for me. This kind of window.
I think that the Eze thing ticks it up a little bit too.
It does. It does.
It just lets you know we're doing some good
you're
business,
right,
smart
does.
business. That's
Yeah,
smart business in a window.
Yeah. You're right. It probably does. 6.5 then. 6.5 out of 10.
I think the phrase that I would use is patient ambition. We've had very patient ambition this window. We haven't just gone out and just thrown out crazy amounts of money after, something like an Elise transfer. I think we've been very patient with making sure that we're signing the right people, we're doing the right deals, and not making the wrong decisions too. Because there's a lot of deals that we've walked away from, or players that we've probably lost interest in, or didn't decide to move forward with for one reason or another. And I think they say sometimes the best business is no business at all.
Yeah. So I think we have shown ambition, and the market is not over. Just quickly before we do wrap up, get involved in the chat as well. What do we make of the new kit? We briefly mentioned it. I'll be honest, there's a lot of people saying take my money and this and that. Like, I think it's a nice kit, but I prefer the 1920 black kit.
It's a good looking kit. Out of the 3 kits, it is by far the best one in my opinion. By far. The only thing about it that I would say is a knock is that it lacks creativity.
It's just a black with red and blue.
Okay, for one, like you said, kind of like the setup of it is very reminiscent of that 1920. I mean, the 1920 kit outside of like the shoulders, very similar. And the piece for me also, so that's one knock on the creativity. The other knock on the creativity is you just stole the stripe, the bird stripes from the home kit and threw it down the middle of the black kit. And it's kind of like, oh well, you didn't do a whole. Now I'm actually surprised that it took us so long to put the to put the kit out, because it's like, what was so special about this kit that took so long for us to put it out? Like, you just slap them on there, let's go. You know what I mean? But honestly, even still, I still think it's the best looking one out of all 3, and that's just the truth.
Yeah, I don't know. The home kit the home top ain't bad. It's just the shorts.
It just gets the shorts make it so unbearably ugly.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, we'll answer these 2 questions, then we'll wrap up. Ash saying danger that Lacroix's price rises after Guehi moves needs to get done before. No.
Nope.
The reason why
that'd be bad business for them.
Yeah, because they don't really have much power.
Yeah. And if you take that price up, he doesn't go anywhere, and you're stuck with him for a year, and you don't get anything for him. So
yeah, exactly. Engin saying, is this player comes in? Well, I guess if this player comes in, do you think Richards drops down the pecking order? Yeah,
quite possible.
I think Lacroix goes ahead of him. As Glazen really wants it for a reason as well, which that'll be incredible, by the way. Like, if we have Richards and Riyad as backup solid 2 backup centre backs, and then Rob Holding as like an emergency defender.
It sounds like a team that's planning on being in Europe.
That's a squad.
It sounds like a team that's planning on being in European competitions.
100% with that. 100% with that. And but then again, just a left wing back, which I think we'll solve. The talks have been there. I'm more concerned about the right hand side.
I'm more concerned with the right wing. To be honest with you, man, like I'd be okay with us going with Ume. I'd be okay with us going with Ume. moving forward if we have to. But you know, that right side, man, I just, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, let's see what happens. Let's just sort out the left hand side because Mitchell's been starving for help. Like he's been on his knees asking for
Don't get me
help.
wrong, I would be really happy if we got cover there. I mean, I guess inevitably I want cover for both of them. I just, I feel like that is a huge piece for us as far
It just
as,
makes me relaxed.
yeah,
Because then going forward now, if we do sort out the left wing back and right wing back, it's like that defense is sorted. You don't
and you
have
can
to
afford to have squad rotation when you need it.
I think if we do get a left wing back and a backup right wing back, that's the best defense that we've had since getting promoted to the Premier League. Like it depends, of course, on the players, but in terms of depth,
Yeah.
like I can't remember having depth
100%,
as strong as we do right now, especially if we've got
100%.
Lacroix as well.
I mean, because if you add Lacroix, you got guys. Well, Lacroix hasn't done it yet, but you got 4 out of your 6 center backs are all internationals, like starting international caliber guys.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see if they let's see if we can get that sorted. But look, we're gonna wrap up here, people. The season starts in 15 minutes time. As I've said, there's loads of content out. So if you haven't watched a match preview, go check that out. Opposition preview dropped today at around 4 p.m. UK time, not 4:30, I was going to say. So I'm pretty sure some will be watching, haven't probably checked that out. You can check it out. I made your life easier by clicking on the pinned comment because we're going to wrap up now. And it's an insight into Brentford side of things. And honestly, it's very good because they've got a few injuries in certain positions. So, yeah, I didn't know that as well. So that's what's good for the opposition previews. Connie saying, come on, Fulham, just for today.
Just for today.
I'm just relaxing. I'm relaxing watching that game.
It's a good game. It's a good game to start the season with. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to watching it, not because of any implications.
I don't know who let's see who will be competing with this season. I don't know. It's going to be a funny season because I think it's going to be very interesting. Like, there's so many good teams now, so I'm just going to be relaxing, putting my feet up, watching that game, also watching tomorrow's games, and on Sunday live watch along, live match reaction. Palace are back, and I can't wait. You think the other watch alongs where I've been smiling and saying, yeah, nice goal? No, I'm going to be stressing out. And hopefully I won't be stressing out. Hopefully I'll be celebrating. Hopefully we'll all be celebrating. But every game, to me, people, if you've been watching this, every game matters for this new season. I really want us to start with a win. So yeah, let's see what happens. But anyways, that's it from me and T. Like, subscribe, and until next time, up the Palace.